And so it was that he was to walk for all his days amongst the blistering heat, until he came upon a market, veiled over by a thick blanket and held up by two poles. Betwixt he walked to enter in. The market was shaded from the sun, and it brought relief, for he was burnt and weary from his travels. He wished for a brief respite, and as he entered in he saw all the marvels of this place, all manner of food and drink, beautiful women and exotic fabrics as he walked about, things which were hitherto unknown to him and altogether foreign, as his arraignments were plain and tattered from his long journey from a place he could not recall, but could only feel deep in his gut like a throbbing ache, an unfulfilled desire. He finally came to a small cafe, nestled and draped in checkered cloth, a tent with the bar set to front. He sat and signaled to the man working for a drink of water, but the man shook his head and replied, "Water is scarce here, and only reserved for those who truly need it, but perhaps I could be of help," he said, a smooth look of calm assertion coming over his face, as if entering quiet focus almost imperceptible to the traveler. "Come, take seat with me in an inner tent, and I will ask my master, for you do look wearied indeed, traveler." And so the man followed, past an open set of curtains behind the bar, when somehow he found himself at the entrance to the market once more. It was nearly the same, but the air more stale, the fabrics less bright, and a dull pain began to form deep in the center of his head. He pressed on towards where the cafe had been, the same man behind the bar. Though following what had come before, his expression was more contorted, more sinister, almost a violent gaze as the traveler sat. "Come, only once more must you come into my inner peace and see my master, then you shall have your nourishment." The man spoke, and without having been asked, and this time, before he had finished speaking, the traveler had already started towards the back of the bar and through the curtain. The two curtains, feeling heavier this time, like a weighted sheet he had to use force to push through, and with intent he went through. This time the market could hardly even be called so, for all things rotten and decrepit, morose in their givings, fabric in tatters, insects and all manners of creeping things sleeking about the stalls and wares, plates turned into blades, and water turned into sand. The women, previously beautiful, were old and withered, yet still singing to draw the traveler as before. The traveler quickened his pace, as the holes in the veil also began to form and let in the sun, and the heat suffered the rot. He ran towards the cafe in fear and expectation now, and once arriving, the once human figure now was a beast, standing on two legs, yet dripping with all manner of fluid, and had the head of a goat, 6 measures tall, with a murderous expression behind dull, lifeless eyes. It reached for the traveler's coat as he ran behind the bar, and it was ripped from him, leaving him naked as he entered the vale once more, and behold, he was naked before the Lord and in the deepest desert, hotter and more brilliantly beating with the sun than ever before. His body burned red, his face burned red, and he could no longer walk as he fell to the sands. Why had he come here? What was this for? Where was he going? And so he relinquished control, the pain in his head beating vividly like a pulsating rhythm as he fell upon his back and accepted his death. What is cannot be changed, and what is not cannot be entered in. And as his breathing slowed, Suddenly his forehead burst through a small stone, opaline and cloudy, and as the sun hit his face, the light bent into a single point through the sky. The blue, vivid imaginations of his inner minds gathering out into a single point of enlightenment that split open the blue expanse, and dark clouds began billowing out, lightning roaring, wind kicking into a mad violence that obscured the man's vision as sand whipped him to and fro. This was the end, he thought to himself. Surely I have been abandoned here. Surely the Lord has left me to my fate. Surely there is no way that I can go on. He closed his eyes. The wind stopped. The lightning silenced. The storm stood still, and the man opened his eyes, and it began to rain.